Hey folks, Dooger Does here. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've done a movie review, but I thought I would cover one today. And I wanted to cover a genre that's like my all-time fave. And that is in the realm of B-movies, especially horror movies. To me, the worse they are, the better they are. And I believe me, I've seen some steaming piles of poo that were just too good to be true. And today I thought I would go back and go retro and review a movie from the 1980s. To me, the 80s was the best period in which horror movies were made because either they were really good or really bad. And some of the best ones were made during that period, and some of the worst ones were good. And the one I have for you guys today is a movie called The Dead Pit. And it's basically about a doctor who's conducting experiments on mental patients at this hospital. And a fellow doctor finds out what he's up to, decides to put a stop to it. He kills the doctor, and life goes on. 20 years later, this unknown woman shows up at the hospital. And as soon as she enters the hospital, an earthquake happens. And it opens up the pit that the guy had fallen, the doctor had fallen into when he died. And so he's free to conduct experiments on people again, as well as wanting this girl for some unknown reason. And the Jane Doe, the girl who can't even remember her own name. She has amnesia. I don't know if I did that. Her name's Jane Doe in the movie, but she's played by actress Cheryl Lawson. Now, when I looked her filmography up, she hadn't had very many films to her credit as an actress. But she has had a long history of doing stunts. She is still currently a stunt woman. In fact, her last credit was from 2015. Don't remember what the movie was, but she is credited as still doing stunt work. The head of the main doctor, the doctors over the mental institution, is played by Jeremy Slate, and his character's name is Dr. Gerald Swan. And what was interesting about him when I looked up his filmography is he's most well known for 3 movies. He was in GI Blues and Girls, 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 which are both Elvis movies. And then he also appeared in True Grit. His career spans back to 1952. His last film credit was from 2006. I think he died the year after, but I forgot to look that up. I apologize, but I know that he passed shortly after that. But I thought that was really cool to see that there's an Elvis connection, because my mom's a big fan of Elvis, and I can't wait to tell her about that, because I thought that was pretty cool. The archetype hero in the movie is played by Stephen Gregory Foster. His character's name is Christian Myers. He had the best quote in the entire movie. He said, "For dead people, they are pretty smart." And that just made me bust out dying laughing. I mean, I was rolling. The evil doctor, Dr. Colin Ramsey, was played by Danny Gochnour. I looked his filmography up. There was really nothing on him. And oh, by the way, that Stephen Gregory Foster, he really had no major film credits after that movie. He did some bit acting through the years, but Danny Gochnour, this is his only film credit, period. Okay, now, I'm going to give away a little spoiler here, just a tiny little bitty one, so if you don't want to hear it, plug your ears. there's a scene in the movie that I thought was the most scariest of the whole movie. And the woman has just been brought into the hospital, and she confronts the doctor. And while talking to the doctor, she is possessed by the evil doctor. And the doctor basically, or the possessed woman, tells the doctor that he knows, that he's the one that did this and he's wanting to get his revenge and blah, blah, blah. But the blood-curdling yell that comes out of her in that scene really got to me. I mean, it put the fear in me, seriously. And I think it was what really made that movie. I mean, as far as scare factor goes, I think that was the best scary scene. But this movie is full of good schlock as well. I mean, from the makeup, for the dead zombies, it was pretty decent. I mean, the face paint was not that great, but when it came to like open wounds and stuff, it looked pretty real, and I thought that was pretty cool. The special effects for the evil doctor was even better. Not only did he have a bullet hole in the middle of his head, which was pretty cool, but two, they just took it one step farther to make him look even more evil, and that was they gave him glowing eyes. And it was almost like they superimposed glowing eyes over his real eyes. That was too funny. Every time they showed that, I was rolling. But all in all, I mean, for a good cheesy movie, it was awesome. In fact, I give it a rating of nacho cheese. It was one of my favorite 5 out of 5 nacho cheese movies. It was awesome. Loved every minute of it. There were some other cheesy lines, but to me, that for the dead people, they are smart was the best one out of the whole movie. I will say this though, the characters aren't as well developed as I would have liked them to be, but hey, what do you expect? This is a low budget horror film. But the storyline was a little but it at the beginning it kind of dragged, and then it got better as the movie went. And by the end of the movie, I was just so loving it. In fact, I kind of wish they'd done a sequel to it. But they didn't, and oh well, but it was really, really good. And I don't know if I mentioned this from 1989. That's my senior year. I graduated in 1990, so it's been that long since that movie was out, and that just tells you how old I am. But it was good to go back and visit theaters, I can't say it enough. That was one of the best eras for movies, especially in the realm of horror. And so you'll definitely be seeing more movie reviews on movies like this. And if you like this review, please give me a like. And if there's a movie you want me to review that you think would be a great cheesy movie, let me know. I'll be glad to watch it and review it, because I eat this stuff up. I mean, I've got some primo ones in my DVD collection. Maybe I might just pull a few of those out for you guys, because I think you'll enjoy them as well. In fact, I'll give you a title of one before I go that I think you will really, really enjoy, and that is a movie called Curse of the Confederate Cannibals, I think is the name of it. It was put out by Troma in the late 70s, early 80s. and it was one of their first films. And Curse of the Confederate Cannibal Corpses. Yeah, that's it. Curse of the Confederate Cannibal Corpses. That's the title. Awesome movie. I mean, one of my favorite of all time cheesy movies, or schlock, whatever you want to call it. Awesome movie. Awesome. I've still got it in my collection, and I do go back and watch that one regularly. So definitely give that one a watch. But also, let me know what cheesy movies you would like me to see, and they could be from any era. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever. Just let me know. I'll be glad, like I said, I'll be glad to watch them. Well, folks, thank you for coming to view me again, and be sure to subscribe. This is Dooger Does, saying do good and deuces. Bye-bye.